Well, here we are, YouTube. It's Thursday night at Nixon's Garage, home of the 1959 Buick Electra 225 Rat Rod. Rat stock came and went. We went and had a good time. If you didn't know about it, watch some of our previous videos. I tried to give you a little idea what that was like. In the process of building the Rat Rod, I had to put a lot of hours in here after hours. So things kind of slipped up. I had to make some promises, and frankly, I've been spending the last week and a half trying to catch up on some of those promises. My wife, she's a chicken mama. If you don't know what that means, you can look it up, but we got chickens, and well, they think she's her mama. She takes care of them really good. We eat really good fresh eggs, but it's a lot of work. And you got to start thinking about getting ready for the winter time. So I spent the weekend putting a roof over the pen, so when it snows or rains outside, the chickens will have a pen that they can go outside with a roof to look around. I don't know about all that. We have, I think we have like 31 adult chickens, one of which is a rooster, and he's a cool rooster. I walk around and tell him how good rooster he is, and he flaps his wings like he knows I'm talking to him. Then we got a bunch of girls, and well, they're kind of old. On top of that, we have 9 teenagers. I just got a text from my wife that says 7 of those 9 teenagers are now laying eggs. We're getting 3 green ones and 3 white ones and 1 blue one. Well, there's 2 of them ain't laying eggs yet, and hopefully they will pretty soon. Now they're all mixed and run around. Anyway, the story with the chickens is I spent the whole weekend working on the chicken house, so I didn't get no work done on the Rat Rod this weekend. In the evenings, I've been trying to get back into the swing of things. The first thing I had to do was assess the damage from taking that ride. We had a shakedown ride. I don't know how many of y'all been to Sheffield, Illinois, but when you get up there, the country roads are, well, they're not as smooth as we would like them to be. I said what I said. They shook my little car, and we had some issues because of that. It broke some spot welds that were holding some of the body panels into place, moved the body forward about 2 inches on one side. Well, anyway, I got it slid back into the position about where it belongs, and put some hose clamps on it to hold some of the pieces together, and it's kind of back looking like it's supposed to. That's really my fault. I should have had some bolts holding the floorboard to the frame. It seems to make sense. So I've been assessing how I'm going to finish the firewall and the floorboard and get all that tied together. I'm still not real sure. I got some opening in the corners, and well, I'm going to have to figure it out. In the meantime, I did spend a little time up here in the front looking at the radiator place and position, and I took a junky old radiator. I cut it into 2 or 3 pieces and took it over to a friend of mine that's got a, one of them welders for welding aluminum. And he tack welded it back together. You should have seen the look on his face when I carried that in there. He said, "Man, I can't do that." And I said, "Look, man, we're just making a dummy." So I got the dummy made up. We brought it over. I set it into position, and it clears the hood idea that my employees came up with while I was gone. The whole time we've been wanting to figure out how to point that hood in the front. And I had this old hood out there. I want to use it. I think it's like a 48 Chevy hood. I'm really not sure. I was going to use it on a 42 Ford front clip. Then I'm putting on a 48 Ford sedan delivery with a super radically chopped top. We'll get to that on some videos on another day. But when I lay it in here, it kind of starts to look like it belongs. I still have the intent of putting the top fenders in here like we had in the other videos if you've seen them. And of course, I like the slanted headlights, and they'll fit right in here pretty good. So the big brown truck came, which always seems to make me happy. And we got some pieces. We got us an electric fan. Woo woo. We got us a fan shroud. Yoo-hoo. We got us a control kit to run that fan. It's temperature operated, so that should help to keep it cool. And we got a radiator. Now, I apologize for the video quality. I'm by myself tonight, so I'm trying to move the camera and do the talking and showing and all that. Anyhow, so the next question comes, how to install that radiator in here. That style of side cross flow radiator like that normally sits in a saddle and has a table that lays across the top and it bolts into the core support. We obviously don't have a core support, so I'm thinking that I'm going to have to build something like that. Since I want the headlights in here slanted, I'm thinking something that would mount the headlights, come down to the frame and set on a frame, and then we could make a bar that went between those to lay across the top of the radiator. Maybe some saddles in the bottom. One of the other things that I wanted to do, which I'm not sure how to show you with the camera, is in between the two front axles, I believe we should put some kind of structure across there to hold the two frame rails from twisting or moving in and out towards each other with the torque applied by steering the steering wheel. That gap in there is probably about 1.5 inches. So I'm gonna design something to go in through there to give some strength to that. One of the things that we found from our ride was that my tie rod ends on the front suspension actually hit right here when the suspension is all the way down. I thought I compensated for that by putting the shocks where I did, and I tried to make the shocks come to the bottom before the airbags did because I thought that was the right thing to do. All in all, it works out pretty good because we don't really need this chunk out here in front of the tie rods. And if you remember from one of the earlier videos, I had talked about when my dad built hot rods, he always liked the suicide axle with the tie rod out there in the front. So as I get this in my head just right, what's gonna happen is everything in front of the tie rod ends is gonna disappear. So I'll get that structure put in there to hold the axles properly spaced, and then I can cut this stuff off. Probably in this neighborhood here, right about where the tie rods come through, and we'll get rid of that tie rod hitting when we're bagged out. We like it when it bags out. It looks pretty doggone good laying on the ground. Right before we left, I bought some 1-inch thick rubber to put between the body and the floor, between the floorboard and the frame. And that got the rockers up off the ground because, well, when it bagged out before, it laid the rockers all the way on the ground. And if you let all the air out, it would actually pick the body up off the frame. So that 1-inch thick rubber became a crucial piece to protecting my rockers. I don't know what else to talk about tonight. I can show you inside what we did with the tunnel for the floorboard if you haven't seen that yet. Hang on, I'm cutting my head off. Maybe you want to see the car more than me, but there we go. So when we built that, I made a cardboard pattern of the shape at the back. Then I made a cardboard pattern of the shape at the front and measured the distance between those two cardboard patterns. I went to a friend of mine over at P&M Fab, and he's got this great big machine. It's a huge press brake, and it actually came off of a U.S. military ship. This thing is a freaking monster. He showed me how we plotted the lines, and then using that brake, we made multiple brakes, and each time we broke it, it started to come down and around. That panel actually goes up like this and across, then back up and round like this. It also gets wider as it comes to the front, so it'll clear the transmission. The next step is to make a piece to go from there to the firewall. That's going to tie the left side floorboard, the right side floorboard, that rear tunnel, and the firewall. It'll bring it all and tie it all together. So somehow I got to crawl my butt inside there and try to make that cardboard pattern. Then we'll go map that out. I'm going to ask my friend if we can maybe make a video of stamping that out so I can show you how that's done. It's a really unique process, well, to me it's a unique process. I've never done anything like that, but it's not really that unique. I don't know what the right word is. I'm looking for a word right here. I don't know. Anyway, it's an excellent process for making that arch. I really like the way it left lines from the front to the back everywhere it pressed. Okay, because that gives it a mechanical look, and well, rat rods are pretty mechanical, you know. So that's kind of where I'm at, making a pattern for this, for that cross member that I'm going to put in there, making a pattern for the mounts for the headlights, crossbar for the radiator, and for the front of that firewall, back to the transmission tunnel. The goal is to try to get the radiator mounted and the body firmed up so I can try to start this motor. As you know, this is, well, maybe you don't know, I'm pretty sure I told you, but I'll tell you again, it's just a 1975 454. It's 100% stock, 30 over, flat top pistons. It's like 7.8 to 1 or 8.1 to 1 compression, depending on who you read. And it's just a bone stock little 454 with a mild RV can. That's all it really needs for this push. I got really excited the other day. I saw a blower, a supercharger, and an intake manifold, and a carburetor plate, and drive and pulleys on Facebook for like $2,000 to fit that. At this low compression ratio, I believe that would be easy install, but well, before rat stock, that wouldn't have fit in the budget because you got to stay under 5,000. Right now, I won't stay in the budget because, well, I don't have $2,000 laying around. I do have some cars for sale, and maybe we'll get somewhere on some of that. But for right now, I got plenty of parts to make this car run without buying a supercharger. So that's the direction I'm going to go in. I'm not sure how to get the camera in there to let you watch all that, but I just wanted to give you an update of where everything's going. Let you know that the 1959 Buick Electra 225 Rat Rod project is still very active, and it's very important to me to get it done as quickly as I can. I hear there's a car show in Carthage, which is, I don't know, a suburb of Joplin, called the Maple Leaf, here in a couple of weeks. So maybe we can get the floorboard finished up, get this thing started up, and we might be able to get it over there. If we get the floorboard finished up, then I can finish installing the master cylinder and brake pedal and put in the last support required for the steering column to hold it up at the correct angle. So then we would have steering and brakes, radiator, engine, transmission, fuel cell. Man, I don't know about all that bodywork stuff yet, but we might be able to get this thing running and get it out there on the road where we can put some miles on it. So here we go. I'm going to get to work on this. I'm going to let you go for now. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Become my friend on Facebook. Bring us some cars to work on. We still need to feed those grandkids. And just to be honest, the shop's pretty full. We're really blessed to have this much to work on right now. So sit back, relax, enjoy your week. I'll see you in a couple days with another video, and maybe I can get us over there to press that piece of metal for the firewall and get a video of that. Thanks for watching.